Have you ever been so afraid of losing something that you ended up losing everything anyway? Maybe it was a woman you loved, a dream you delayed, a battle you were born to fight but never stepped into. You held back, afraid of what would happen if it went wrong, afraid of embarrassment, afraid of rejection, afraid of failure, so you stayed still. And stillness became the slow death of your potential. Men were not made to play it safe. We were not crafted in God's image to walk softly through life, hoping not to disturb the chaos. We were born to dominate it, to enter the storm, to live boldly, and to act as if we have nothing to lose, because truthfully, we never really do. Every man you admire from history or scripture walked with this one mindset: if I lose everything, I still have my soul, I still have my honor, and that is enough. When you finally stop clinging to the safety of your little fears, when you stop protecting your pride, your comfort, your image, when you begin to act as if nothing on this earth owns you, you become untouchable. That's when life starts. That's when women feel your masculine core. That's when enemies back down. That's when heaven begins to breathe with you. In this video, we're going to break this down with 4 powerful chapters. We'll walk through the historical legends who lived this truth, the spiritual warriors who embraced loss so they could gain everything, and the practical, real-life steps you must take today if you want to be free. You'll learn why fear is a liar, why safety is an illusion, and why the man who acts like he has nothing to lose is the most dangerous man alive, not to others, but to every obstacle in his way. If you're tired of watching life pass you by, if you're ready to reclaim your boldness, your faith, your edge, then this is for you. Like this video, share it with a man who needs it. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss the next chapter of your rise. And most of all, drop a comment below. Tell us, what would you do if you had nothing to lose? Let's get into it. Chapter 1. The illusion of safety and the truth of risk. The comfort zone is a prison we build with our own hands. We are often told to play it safe, to avoid risk, to safeguard our reputation, to protect our pride. Society tells us that safety is the ultimate goal. But in reality, safety is an illusion. The truth is, the more we cling to safety, the more we imprison ourselves. We have been conditioned to believe that success lies in avoiding failure. But look at the men who shaped history, from Alexander the Great to Winston Churchill. These men did not sit back and wait for things to come to them. They acted as if they had nothing to lose. They embraced risk. Remember what the Bible teaches us. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Matthew 16:25. What does this mean for you as a man striving to live with purpose and power? It means that the true path to success is not to protect yourself from risk, but to step boldly into it. We live in a world where the comfort of safe choices tempts us to hold back. We worry about what others will think, about being judged, about losing what we have, but in doing so, we actually lose the opportunity to gain something far greater, the freedom to truly live. Every great accomplishment in history came at the cost of comfort. Men like Theodore Roosevelt, who fought the Battle of San Juan Hill, knew that true greatness is found when you act as if you have nothing to lose. He famously said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood." Roosevelt didn't play it safe. He understood the power of embracing risk. The greats have always known it's not the fear of loss that matters, it's the willingness to risk everything that unlocks the most fulfilling, purposeful life. Now, this doesn't mean being reckless. It means knowing when the cost of not acting is higher than the cost of failure. It means trusting that you are strong enough to rise even when you fall. And most importantly, it means taking risks that align with your core values and your mission. You're the price of safety. Let's talk about what happens when we stay inside our comfort zones. In the short term, it feels good, peaceful, stable, but in the long run, it creates boredom. It breeds complacency. The more you avoid risk, the more you avoid life itself. You will begin to feel disconnected from your true potential. The man who is constantly avoiding risk will end up fearing everything, even the things that could lead him to greatness. Think about the times when you felt the most alive. I bet it was during moments when you took risks. That job interview that scared you, that first date where you took a leap, that business venture you weren't sure about. In those moments, you stepped outside of your comfort zone and embraced uncertainty. That's the place where growth happens. It's where courage is born. And ultimately, it's where the kind of life you were meant to live is created. Action steps for you. 1. Face your fears. Identify the risks you've been avoiding. What are you afraid of? Rejection, failure, shame? Write them down and face them head on. The moment you confront your fear, you realize it has no real power over you. 2. Take calculated risks. Start small. Make a decision that stretches you. Speak up in that meeting, approach that person you've been avoiding, or invest in that project you've been too scared to start. 3. Embrace the unknown. Accept that life is filled with uncertainties. The future is always unknown, but it's in that uncertainty that adventure and possibility lie. 4. Live with intention. Every risk you take should align with your purpose. Don't just chase risk for the thrill. Make sure it's moving you toward your bigger vision. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you take away fear's grip on you. It's only then that you can truly live boldly, with purpose and clarity, stepping into the life you were always meant to lead. As you reflect on this chapter, ask yourself, what risks have I been avoiding? Are they holding me back from becoming the man I'm destined to be? Drop a comment below with your thoughts and what risk you're ready to take today. Chapter 2. The Power of Embracing Loss. Why true strength lies in letting go. Sometimes the only way to get where you're going is to let go of where you've been. In Chapter 1, we spoke about risk, how avoiding it traps you in the prison of safety. But now let's talk about something that many men fear even more than risk: loss. What happens when you give up everything, when you step into the arena knowing that you might lose it all? That's a question that haunts many. We hold on to things that define us, our reputation, our job, our relationships, our comforts. But true strength comes when you learn to let go. The Bible gives us a powerful example of this in the life of Job. This man, who had everything, wealth, family, status, lost it all, everything, his possessions, his children, his health, and his friends. Yet he still praised God and said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Job 1:21. Job's strength wasn't found in what he clung to, it was found in his ability to release. He acted as if he had nothing to lose, and in doing so he found a deeper relationship with his faith and purpose. True power comes from the willingness to let go of everything, even your attachment to success. We often think that loss equals weakness, but in reality, loss is a gateway to true freedom. When you release the things you fear losing, you become untouchable. You stop living in fear of the next setback. You stop holding on to things that no longer serve your growth. You begin to walk lighter, unburdened by the weight of what others think or what you might lose. The most powerful men in history have embraced loss. They understood that in letting go they made room for something far greater. Take Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor. He ruled over the Roman Empire, the most powerful empire in the world at the time. Yet in his meditations he writes about the importance of detaching from what the world holds dear. He says, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Aurelius's wisdom is a reminder that external circumstances don't define us. The man who has nothing to lose, who is free from attachment, is the man who has power over his own mind, his own purpose, and his own life. When you embrace loss, you are freed from the constant struggle to hold on. You stop being afraid of the future because you no longer need things to be a certain way to be happy. You begin to live in the present moment. The gift of loss. The idea of loss sounds terrifying at first, doesn't it? It goes against everything society tells us about success and happiness, but in reality, loss can be a gift. It's through loss that we gain the most valuable lessons. Consider the story of King David in the Bible. Before he became king, David lost everything. He lost his status, his home, and even his friends. He was betrayed and forced to live in caves. But in those moments of loss, David came face to face with the truth of his own identity. He realized that his purpose was not tied to his wealth or his title. His strength was found in his relationship with God and in the courage to step forward, no matter what he faced. David's loss was his redefinition. It was the moment he truly stepped into his calling. When you lose something, you strip away the things that don't matter. You get to focus on what really matters. In the end, what you gain is a clearer sense of who you are and what you're capable of, and that clarity becomes a source of immense strength. Action steps for you. 1. Release attachments. What have you been holding on to too tightly? Your job? Your title? Your possessions? Begin to let go of the things that you fear losing. Recognize that these things do not define you. Detach from the external. 2. Embrace the unknown. The future is full of uncertainty, and that's okay. When you embrace loss, you embrace life as it comes. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Step into it with confidence. Let go of the fear of what could go wrong and open yourself up to what could go right. 3. Learn from failure. Failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. Each time you fall, you rise stronger, more determined, and more connected to your purpose. See failure as an opportunity to grow rather than something to fear. 4. Focus on what matters. When you let go of everything that doesn't serve your purpose, you make room for the things that truly matter. Focus on relationships, growth, purpose, and faith. These are the things that will sustain you when everything else falls away. When you embrace loss, you stop fearing it. And when you stop fearing loss, you gain the ultimate strength, the power to live freely and boldly. You become unstoppable. Reflect on the losses you've experienced, or the losses you fear. What would your life look like if you acted as if you had nothing to lose? What could you let go of that would set you free? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Chapter 3. The Strength of Self-Reliance. Why you must trust yourself. You are the only person who can truly define your worth. In the first 2 chapters, we talked about risk and loss, about stepping into the unknown with boldness and embracing the freedom that comes when you act as if you have nothing to lose. But now, we need to dive into one of the most powerful aspects of living this way, self-reliance. The greatest men throughout history were not those who depended on others to tell them who they were or what they were capable of. They were the men who trusted themselves, their abilities, and their inner strength. They didn't wait for permission to step into their power. They acted as if they had nothing to lose because in truth, they had already found their worth in themselves. Let's look at Abraham Lincoln, who faced overwhelming challenges to a divided country, personal loss, and relentless criticism. Despite this, he stood firm in his beliefs. He acted as if he had nothing to lose, and in doing so, changed the course of history. Lincoln's strength didn't come from the approval of others. It came from his self-reliance, from knowing that his mission was greater than any obstacle. The Bible echoes this same sentiment in Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. This doesn't mean that we should disregard the wisdom of others, but it does teach us that we should first trust ourselves and the path we are walking. Self-reliance doesn't mean isolation, it means inner confidence. It's the courage to take action based on your own understanding of your purpose, even when the world is unsure or critical. The role of self-reliance in success. Self-reliance is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean that you never need help or advice, or that you should ignore others' experiences. Rather, it means that you trust yourself enough to make decisions, even when they are difficult or unpopular. It means you take ownership of your actions and your life. Self-reliance gives you the strength to keep moving forward in the face of opposition. It's what keeps you standing when everyone else doubts you. It's what allows you to take risks because you have confidence in your ability to handle whatever the outcome might be. Thomas Edison is a perfect example of self-reliance. He faced countless failures in his pursuit of the light bulb, but instead of giving up or listening to critics, he trusted his own instincts. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison didn't need anyone else's approval. His belief in himself and his purpose fueled his persistence. You must adopt this same mindset. Believe in your vision, trust your abilities, and keep pushing forward, even when the world seems uncertain. If you rely on the validation of others, you'll never be free to pursue your full potential. The danger of external validation. In today's world, it's easy to become dependent on others' opinions. Social media, peer pressure, and societal expectations constantly try to tell us who we should be and what we should want. But when you rely on external validation, you give away your power, you lose your authenticity, you end up living your life based on someone else's terms. Think about it. How much of your life have you spent seeking approval from others? How many decisions have you made based on what someone else would think or say? This is the trap of external validation. When you depend on others' opinions, you live a life dictated by fear and insecurity. But when you rely on yourself, when you trust in your own instincts and beliefs, you stop being a prisoner of other people's judgments. You own your decisions and your life. This is the ultimate form of freedom. You don't need permission to live boldly. You are the authority of your life. Action. Steps for you. 1. Trust your instincts. The next time you're faced with a difficult decision, listen to yourself first. Tune out the noise and trust your gut. Your instincts are your internal compass, and they know what's right for you. 2. Own your decisions. Stop making excuses for the choices you've made. Take full responsibility for your actions, whether they lead to success or failure. You are the author of your life. Own it. 3. Silence the critics. There will always be critics. People will always have something to say about your journey, but don't let their voices drown out your own. Trust yourself more than you trust the opinions of others. 4. Build confidence. Through action. The more you act with confidence, the more you reinforce your belief in yourself. Take action even when you're unsure. Each step forward builds your self-reliance and strengthens your inner resolve. Self-reliance is the foundation upon which you build the life you were meant to live. It's about owning your decisions, trusting yourself, and acting in alignment with your purpose, no matter what anyone else thinks. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you have nothing left to fear. You become unstoppable. Think about the decisions in your life. How much of your life have you spent relying on others' approval? What would it look like if you trusted yourself more? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts on how you can start building greater self-reliance in your own life. Chapter 4. The Power of Purpose. Why you must live with intention. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain. In the previous chapters, we've explored the courage to take risks, the strength to embrace loss, and the power of self-reliance. But there is one last element that truly transforms a man's life: purpose. Purpose is the driving force behind everything you do. It's the reason you get up every morning and face the day, the reason you take on challenges, and the reason you persist even when times are tough. Without purpose, you are like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly on the sea of life. A man who acts as if he has nothing to lose is a man who has found his purpose. Purpose gives you clarity in the midst of confusion, strength when you're weak, and direction when you're lost. When you live with purpose, every action you take is driven by something greater than yourself. Look at Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison for a cause greater than his own freedom. While the world thought he had lost everything, Mandela found a deeper purpose: freedom and equality for his people. He acted as if he had nothing to lose because his purpose transcended his personal circumstances. In the end, it was that purpose that led him to change the course of history. The Bible speaks of the importance of purpose and living with intention in Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." This verse reminds us that each of us has a divine purpose. The key to living boldly without fear of loss is knowing your purpose. When you know who you are and what you're meant to do, nothing can stop you. Living with intention. Purpose is not something you find overnight. It's discovered over time through action, reflection, and living authentically. But when you find your purpose, everything changes. Suddenly you have a reason to push through adversity, a reason to take risks, and a reason to let go of the things that don't serve your mission. Alexander the Great had a singular purpose: to conquer the known world. Every battle he fought, every strategy he employed was rooted in that mission. His purpose gave him the strength to march into battles that seemed impossible, to lead armies through difficult terrains, and to face his own fears. What is your purpose? This is the question that every man must answer if he is to live a life of meaning and fulfillment. Your purpose is what will carry you through the difficult moments. It is what will give you the strength to act as if you have nothing to lose, because you will know that what you're fighting for is worth it. Living with intention means acting with purpose in every area of your life. It's setting goals that align with your mission, staying focused on your vision, and taking intentional steps forward. Every choice you make, every action you take, should reflect your bigger purpose. The power of vision. A powerful vision fuels your purpose. Vision is the ability to see beyond your current circumstances and imagine a future that's better than today. Without a vision, you are like a man walking in the dark. With a clear vision, you can navigate the challenges, take risks, and move forward with confidence. The Bible talks about vision in Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. This verse tells us that without vision, life loses its meaning. A man without vision is aimless, wandering without direction. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, it's because your vision is so clear that no obstacle can shake your resolve. Steve Jobs understood the power of vision. His vision for Apple was not simply to create products. His vision was to change the way people lived and interacted with technology. Jobs' commitment to that vision transformed the world. Your vision, rooted in your purpose, can do the same. Action. Steps for you. 1. Identify your purpose. Take time to reflect on what drives you. What is the mission you are passionate about? What do you want to contribute to the world? Write it down and make it clear in your mind. 2. Create a vision. Once you know your purpose, create a clear vision of where you want to go. What does the life you want look like? Define it in detail and use that vision as a compass to guide your actions. 3. Live with intention. Every day, take small steps toward your vision. Be intentional with your choices, your time, and your energy. Align everything you do with your purpose and your vision. 4. Stay focused on the big picture. It's easy to get distracted by immediate challenges, but remember that your purpose and vision are greater than any obstacle. When setbacks happen, return to your vision and keep moving forward. Purpose transforms your life. When you know your purpose, you stop fearing loss. You begin to see every obstacle as a stepping stone, every risk as a necessary part of the journey. Purpose gives you the power to live boldly with no fear of what you might lose, because you are focused on something greater than yourself. As you reflect on this chapter, ask yourself, what is your purpose? What vision do you have for your life? And how can you begin living with more intention today? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts on how you can start living with more purpose and intention in your life.